On today's show,
How's that for an input shift?
I hate RAV4.
Don't change the channel. Stay here. Stay here.
Yeah. I'm a car freak.
The way it smelled.
If you could punch one automotive influencer, who would it be? I honestly didn't care where he was born. But... Yes. Welcome back to Bid Left Nut, episode 15. This is going to be a completely different show today. And this was John's idea. Last week, he said, why don't we interview each other so that our audience member can learn who we are. So I'm going to ask John some questions. He's going to ask me some questions. But before we do that, I do want to just introduce Johnny Miata, my co-host, somebody who's definitely not on the Epstein list. John, what's going on?
Hi, Stace. Thanks for just clarifying the Epstein thing right out of the gate.
Oh, absolutely.
How are you?
Did some car driving this week. So, yeah.
Where'd you go?
I have some usual routes. I had a chance to take out each of the fun cars this week in different times. So, I didn't even tell you. Last week, I on the 4C, I've been meaning to do some exhaust work to it because I have that valved exhaust that I put on there, but it's like polished stainless steel, and I didn't like the look of it with all the black carbon fiber. So I painted it. So I'm happy. I'm loving how it looks.
Okay.
Blending in. So the car is completely nondescript now. You can't hear or see it coming. It's not that it's bright yellow.
I don't believe you at all. What did you paint it with?
It's over there in the corner. It's like high temperature.
Okay.
Rust-Oleum or something.
It's sticking.
How are you doing? What's going on?
Oh man, I'm great. Things are great. It's also the middle of summer, 6 hours south of you.
Okay.
It is hot.
That's a relief.
Yeah, it is hot as blazes out there today. Although it was a stunning week, right? Like the weather was low 80s, low humidity, just all the good stuff. So yeah, it was a good week. I spent the week outside doing stuff, and now we're here. And yeah, you mentioned that this was my idea, which is true and also scary.
His idea, not mine.
But I like the idea of introducing each other to like the audience that I really hope is going to show up. Because you're a good guy, and I want people.
The truth is out there.
It's gonna blow up. I can feel it.
Okay.
So anyway, you want to get started?
I do. I had the first question was, we've known each other for a long time, and you know my personality, but what did you think when I came to you and said, hey, I want to do this show, and it's called Bid Left Nut?
I'll be honest.
Okay. Do it.
It took a little convincing. And I guess my answer, my reaction when you said I have this show idea and it's called Bid Left Nut. I couldn't keep the words straight, which is definitely commentary on me. There's only 3 words. It's bid left nut, and I was like, left bid nut left bid. So once I got that squared away, the learning disability and everything else, look, it's memorable. What would you bid your left nut for? I mean, it's got to be pretty good.
It has to be pretty good. Okay, so your first response was questionable, or your first instinct was, but you got behind it. Excellent. That was my first question. Softball.
Wow. I'm going earlier.
Okay.
Where were you born?
Bridgeport.
They get better, I swear. But I wanted to start out because I didn't know where you were born.
Bridgeport, Connecticut, in St. Vincent's Hospital.
Wow, you were born in St. V's?
Yeah.
Okay.
St. V's for the locals.
I mean, shout out to St. V's. That's where they took my sister when she pulled out in front of a car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
So, yeah. That's
BPT.
BPT, yeah. Yeah, Garden City. No, Park City.
Park City. Garden City is that other. It's Detroit.
That's the Motor City.
What else you got? What you got for me?
Oh,
next?
You want? Where were you born?
Where was I was born in White Plains, New York.
Oh, I thought you were born in Belgium.
No, I lived in Belgium, but I was not born there. No,
Okay.
I was born a New Yorker, and that's kind of where my family was from.
Okay.
So about an hour so south of scenic Bridgeport.
Okay. That's nice. That's good. Um, your turn. This is going well.
You got to ask me. What are you gonna? Oh wait, that was your question. Man,
No, I have better questions than that, but I just wanted to give the people at home some feeling of balance here. So something else that we should mention is that there's very little thought put into the show, and this is kind of the nature of the show. So John said, "Hey, let's have a show where we ask each other questions," and that was it. And I said yes to that. So I put some questions together independent of him putting some questions together, and you never know how this is going to turn out. We could have had like all the same questions. We may
that's
have some that overlap.
that's
I
true.
honestly didn't care where he was born, but it's nice to know that he cares about me.
The whole idea is us independently coming together, and sometimes we're going to be on the same page, sometimes we're not going to be on the same page, but
Yeah.
what you're going to get is a very authentic reaction to either whatever show idea we have or whatever questions we have.
Yeah.
So all right, so it's my turn to ask you a question.
Go.
Okay. um well, let me ask you this. What is what does your life currently look like? I know that you're married. I know that you have kids, but give me a little more color commentary. And if you want to mention the wife and kids, even though I just did, that's cool too.
Sure. I have a wife, two daughters. They're both in college in the Boston area. I am a marketing slash branding professional by trade. I'm a writer. My first writing job was at Mad Magazine. Shout out to Alfred E. Newman. Um, Currently, I own my own branding agency in Massachusetts, outside of Boston. I'm a car freak. I love cars. At the moment, I have two Alfa Romeos. I love the Italian cars. So my week, my life is taking care of the house because I work from home, maintaining client business, getting my employees to do the things that they're supposed to do, and trying to organize some car events around here with friends who we like to go driving with. That's my life.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Now it's your turn.
Okay. What was the first car you ever loved? And did it love you back?
Oh yeah. So this is like origin story here.
Yes.
Um, because it's worth noting, I've been a car guy my whole life. I hear other people talk about when they became a car enthusiast, or like when they noticed cars, and it's
Hmm.
always really weird to me because I didn't have a choice. Like I noticed from the time I had any sense of the world, including the fact that my dad had a Volkswagen Beetle, 1966, red coupe, had a sunroof. Um, I loved that car, and I didn't realize this till later, but it got towed away because it had died when I was two.
Mm.
And it's my
Mm.
first real memory of anything. Like my
Wow.
first state of consciousness is seeing that car getting towed away and being really sad about it because the thing was awesome. So that's my first car memory. That's my first memory as a human, is
Hmm.
that little red Volkswagen.
Wow, that's interesting. My first memory is also car related. It's not your dad's red Volkswagen, but it was being in the back seat of my mom's. At the time, it would have been Ford Falcon. Being in the back seat and with my brother in a parking lot. I don't know why, but it's the first thing I can ever remember. And so my aunt was with us, and she was pregnant, and she had not given birth to my cousin, who is 3 years younger than me. So I was three at the time, or about there.
Okay. But you remember the car.
Yeah, I remember the cars. I remember that car. I remember the ice cream stain in the, the back seat on the vinyl from a trip to Carvel.
Were you always a car guy?
Uh, I didn't. I guess so. I always loved cars. I always liked mechanical things. Um, Yeah. And my brother, my older brother, would take cars apart and stuff, and so I kind of, I guess, had no choice. You have that influence. You got that grease in your veins.
I can't help myself. I can't imagine a world in which I wouldn't be playing with cars in some capacity.
Absolutely. I don't question people who don't care about cars or just see them as an appliance, but I couldn't have that in my
Are you
life.
kidding? I envy those people. Yeah, I totally do. To be able to just say like, yeah, I have a Camry. I guess there's a dent in it, or there's
Mhm.
multiple, or yeah, I didn't really notice that it doesn't have third gear. Like,
Yeah.
all of those things are, I don't know, they're very freeing, right? When I get in
Mhm.
my car, I hear everything. I notice everything. If there's a ding, I'm like, where did that come from?
Right.
It drives me nuts. Um, and so I envy the freedom of people who don't care. But I
Yeah, I
can't.
think you gotta have some vehicles that you don't care about, or you have to get to a point where you don't. I don't know. You gotta be able to live and love that vehicle of yours.
You gotta live your life.
That's right.
Um, I'm gonna ask you
Yeah.
another question because I don't know whose turn it is already.
I forgot to. So,
Okay. So what do you do for non-car fun? Like what do you do when you're not doing car things?
oh boy. So does Formula One count, or that's a car thing?
No, I'll say it won't count.
Okay, Formula One. I'm huge. Oh, you're gonna say it won't count. Oh,
Oh no, no,
okay,
no. I'll say it counts. If
okay.
you're into Formula One, then that counts.
I'm hugely into Formula One. I've been watching Formula One since the late '90s, the Schumacher era. Huge Ferrari fan. I every year I question why, but I do enjoy the chaos of the Italian mentality, the way their team works. It is so Italian. If you ever flew Alitalia back in the day, shout out to Alitalia, you realize that was the chaos and confusion of Italian government at 30,000 feet. Well, the Ferrari race team is Italian confusion and chaos at 200 miles an hour, and it's just yeah. So I love Formula One. I also, oddly enough, I garden. I've got some roses that I care deeply about, which is embarrassing. What do you do? I got to take the pressure off of me, turn it on you. What do you do in your off time, off car
Oh,
time?
that's a great question. So before the show, I was mentioning to Stace, I I don't know the last time you ever tried something different and new that you've never done before. We're the
Yeah.
same age. We're in our early 50s, which is very, very young. But
Hmm.
you get to a certain age and you're pretty much good at all the things you know how to do, and it's hard to step out of your comfort zone. So having known that about me, I started taking an adult rowing class where I'm learning how to row and
Hmm.
getting in a boat with a bunch of strangers and rowing. And I've been doing that all summer, and I'm hooked. Like, I am absolutely hooked. And it's not only rowing, which is really, really enjoyable to me. I love being
Hmm.
out on the water and it's great. But being really uncomfortable and having to, I have to say, I have no idea what's going on. I can't fake it. I can't
Again, most
pretend.
most situations, though, I always assume you don't know what's going on.
I never know what's going on, but I'm good at faking it because I've been doing it for so long. And with rowing, I have to fess up and be like, I don't really know what's going on here. Please teach me the correct way. And that's been really, really interesting this summer. So rowing is definitely top of the list. Um, I also take care of the house and I like to keep the yard nice. And I feel like that I'm getting old because I take a lot of pride in that.
Sure.
What
Picking
else do
picking
I
up
do?
sticks every now and then, walked around picking up sticks.
Picking up sticks, yelling about the neighbors whose garbage must have fallen out. Now I have to pick up this candy wrapper, and I yell at the clouds because it's going to rain. I do all those things. But I don't know. I collect bicycles. I have
Yeah.
I have a lot of bicycles. I feel like that's car adjacent, but I guess it's not
It is.
really.
It's car adjacent. Hey, did your because I know that there was a time when you and I were both collecting bicycles sort of together. Did you do that before that, or was that the genesis of that? When
Um,
we
I mean, I've always had an interest in bicycles. I know you have too. I probably started collecting at that time. And I'm currently, it's better than it's been in the past. I have about 40 bicycles. They're kind of strewn about so that you can't tell. Like if they're not in the living room,
Mhm.
that would be
Right. There's not
crazy.
a big pile of them in your
Yeah, yeah,
driveway.
no. They're all sort of in a place, in a good place. Everything is fine. They're in the rafters in the garage, but yeah, there's about 40 of them. And I like to restore them. I like to fix them. I like to ride them. But again, I guess that's sort of car adjacent, right?
Yeah.
In a
I
way.
guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
So yeah, that's a couple of things. And then I don't know that I even mentioned, I am also married. I have 2 kids, and I feel like they take up a lot of my time, and as they should. But my
Wow.
children are,
That
my daughter's,
Yeah, don't let them know that you use the verb take up. I mean, they
I'm
just
very happy about the time that
you spend a lot of time with them.
I spend a lot of time with them. They're 15 and 13, so I think that they feel like I take up a lot of their time. That's probably
Yeah.
the better way to say it.
Yeah, yeah, it's always they're very at that age. If I can give you some parenting advice,
Please.
like they're just so inwardly focused. They don't even know that your time exists.
No,
But
no. My time is for them. Is really where what it boils down to. But yeah, so I do a lot of stuff with them, and I don't know. I will tell you this. I'm never bored. There's a lot going on at any given time.
that's good.
All right, my turn. Your turn. Whose turn?
Your turn. Your
My
turn, man. Yeah.
Do you like to travel?
I love traveling. I absolutely love traveling. I think I mean, if I could get paid for it, I would get in one of these cars and just start driving and just drive every day. Just drive somewhere. I would Traveling by car is one of my favorite things to do, but seeing new places, which I think is probably what you're asking, I really enjoy that. I think the U.S. is an amazing place to explore. Lots of obviously national parks, but just interesting things and interesting people wherever you go. And you'll find good people wherever you go. But also the rest of the world is an interesting place. Went to Italy recently. I love Italy. I'd like to explore more of that. Also, more of Europe. But traveling is it's good. It just gives you new perspective on the world in which you live. Because the world in which you live is not like the four walls of your garage or whatever. It's big. It's huge.
Where's your
Yeah.
favorite place?
At the moment, I'd say Vermont.
Okay.
I'm enjoying Vermont only in the summer though, because it's too damn cold in the winter.
It's
But in the
better to
summer,
ski though when it's cold.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. People have told me that. Um, have you ever lied to somebody about what a car costs, or what a car cost after you purchased it?
I don't think I have. I don't think I have. Wait a minute. Have you?
Yeah, I mean, it's never though. It's never like puffery. It's not like, oh, this can cost $4 million. I mean, it's always like, I don't want people to know what I paid for some of the cars. The odd thing is, though, is that people generally think the Giulietta is not worth anything, and that's generally worth more than any other car that I have
Yeah.
in the garage. But yeah,
No,
I've just
those
told
that
people,
know, like if you know, you know. Like
yeah,
that car is very valuable and very
right here
pretty.
in the heart.
Yeah, very pretty.
Yeah. All right,
How
you're
is
up.
it running? Is it running well? That's a
Oh, it's
question.
perfect. I had that. I had it up. I had it out the other night. It was just fantastic. Yeah,
I'm
I
going to
love
ask
that
you
car.
another question because this is because I wrote this down. So, are you mechanically inclined? Do you work on your own stuff?
Yeah, but I don't enjoy it anymore. I really don't enjoy it anymore, and so I think I am. I would not say I'm professional level mechanically inclined. I'm not professional grade like GMC, um,
You're more
but
like a
I
Chevy.
yeah, I guess that's painful. Uh, no,
Are
I
you
can
like a
fix stuff.
rock? No, that's not even. Huh.
No, let's stop. Let's stop them. No, I can fix things if I like, dummy fix car with book. Like if I have my laptop out, I can fix anything. So I always say to the kids when I'm trying to lecture them, as I do often, the most important tool you have is a set of instructions, whether that's a book or a computer. Whenever you're trying to fix something, knowledge is the most important thing you have, not a wrench, not a hammer, not pliers.
I may have to steal that.
Go for it, man. Take it. Everybody, take it. Use it as your own. All right. I asked you about lying about the cars. What do you got for me?
Oh gosh.
Or was your mechanically inclined question though? No. You go. Take another one.
I'm gonna go.
Go.
I'm just looking because I have a lot of questions for you.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of questions too, but I mean in life.
All right, let's talk cars for a minute. I'm gonna ask you a question about cars, and you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Name a car that you like, but everybody else, like the hive mind, does not. You got any of those where you're like, man, I think that's the coolest car, and everybody else hates it?
Yeah. That's a good question. I guess the hive mind depends who we're talking about, but I think generally I like modern Maseratis. I know people will.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
That's fine. No.
The hive mind has responded. I like the look of them. I like the sound of them. I think it's a lot of it is just pretending, but hey, even if it's a lie, make sure you tell a good story. That's what I say.
I mean, I guess I don't disagree from the standpoint a modern Maserati, not brand new, but like they're cheap on the used market.
Oh, for a reason.
Sure. Yeah, no, listen, I get it. But as a cheap guy, as I am, I see a lot of value, right? Everybody else is running away. They're heading for the hills. And as a result, for 20 grand, you can pick up a pretty impressive car.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna be in pain, right? You're gonna have to deal with a lot of things, a lot of Stellantis things, but you still got a great car for 20 grand that somebody else paid 100 for and is taking a bath.
I think so. Some of the stigma with when you said the hive mind. So when I think of Maserati, there's stigma from a reliability standpoint and cost appreciation off the edge of a cliff. But I think a lot of people will look at a Maserati and say, "Oh, this is a chiropractor's car," or they'll say like somebody who's doing well but can't afford the Ferrari, they buy a Maserati. And I don't buy that. I think people enjoy Maserati, so they get them. And I should clarify, I'm only talking about cars, passenger cars. I'm not talking about SUVs because I'm generally not an SUV guy. And I definitely don't have my initials on a large SUV like you.
I don't.
On a license plate, I should say.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think that there's different cars for different purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I happen to drive a Lexus GX that when I need to be somewhere, that's what I drive because it's super reliable. And no matter what the weather, no matter what's going on. Now, did I have to put my initials on the back, the license plate? I did not, but I did. So,
so if you see if you see that Lexus driving around with the license plate JERK.
It was weird having 3 first names and then a last name, but that's what my parents chose.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What else?
My turn.
Your turn. You go.
Yeah. What's the dumbest modification you've ever made to a car?
I feel like we just answered that. Hey.
Okay.
No.
Was it the license plate?
No. God, I've got way dumber. What's the dumbest modification I've ever made to a car? That's a good question.
I'm the professor.
Have I ever done anything to make a car way worse? Yeah, I mean, I put a loud exhaust on a Miata, and that made it really bad, really unenjoyable to drive.
Can you imitate the exhaust for us?
I mean,
Do
I
it.
don't know.
Do it. Do it.
I'm looking around to see. I can't. It was so loud.
I think you can. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
That was higher pitched than I thought it was going to be.
It was a high pitched sound. The car ended up being terrible because of it, but it happened. I'm better for it.
Excellent.
Kind of along those lines, do you ever notice?
Andy, nobody knows who Andy Rooney is. Nobody knows who Andy Rooney is.
I'm so old. As you get older,
I do notice.
Do you notice, or do you feel like modified cars that you used to think are cool are no longer cool?
No, I don't think so. I think there's some things that I don't appreciate. I don't appreciate. Like, I think there's a time and a place for a loud exhaust. I love a loud screaming car as much as the next idiot. I don't think I need to hear that every morning when you're going to work at 6:45 and you drive by my house in a Mustang. Yeah, or Hellcat or whatever it is. But there's a guy who drives by my house every morning at like 6:45. I'm already up and out by that point, but I don't like that. Makes me question, like, I'm like, dude, I mean, like my 4C can be loud when I want it to be loud, but it doesn't have to be loud. That dude doesn't have to drive by, going 40 miles an hour in second gear. It's not necessary. But I still like the idea of people making cars their own, like giving themselves a personalized feel.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I think for me, as I get older, I give you like an anecdote. There's a kid who drives a Lexus GS in our town, and he has straight piped it. Yeah, and it actually sounds. It sounds pretty cool. It just doesn't sound
from 2 miles away.
From 2 miles away, it sounds pretty cool, and I guess he's got the dump outs because I can't imagine. It's loud. That sounds like a NASCAR, and it doesn't necessarily fit the personality. It's a GS. Like, hey kid, relax. But I agree with you. When I say that my opinions change as I get older, I'm not thinking, oh, we should outlaw exhausts, like, or whatever. I think people should still personalize their cars. My opinion, though, is like I'm getting softer with age, and I kind of like comfort and the solitude and quietness of some of the stuff that I have.
Okay, well, I hope I don't get there anytime soon. My question for you is: if you could only drive one car for the rest of your life, but gas is $20 a gallon, what would it be?
Wow, this is gonna sound crazy. I would drive that stupid Cabrio that I bought back. I would drive that every day. Gas is $20 a gallon, so it gets decent gas mileage. It's a convertible. It's front wheel drive. It's good in the snow. I hate myself for loving that car as much as I do. If I could only have one car for the rest of my life, it might be that.
Okay, that's fair.
It's weird.
And it doesn't matter that gas is $20 a gallon in that car.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And it's 115 horsepower, and it's not ever going to be fast, but I like it. So that's what I would drive for the rest of my life.
Okay, awesome.
Turn.
What? No, I asked you that question.
Yeah, so now I'm going to ask you a question.
So go for it. What are we waiting for? People at home are starting to change the channel. They're going to watch... No,
don't change the channel. Stay here. Stay here. Yeah. We were kind of touching upon this a little bit. Do you ever think that enthusiast cars will go extinct?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's ever going to happen. In long ago in a galaxy far away, people were racing their, I don't know, whatever. Luke Skywalker was like trying to make his scooter faster, whatever he was driving. I mean, like, people have always been doing that since two cars existed. the idea of one going faster than the other has also existed. And I know when you say enthusiast cars, it doesn't necessarily mean competition, but I think people will always care about the thing that they have. Before, like you mentioned, chariots, but before cars, there were horses, and people would have very nice saddles, right? Like tooled leather saddles and silver buckles and things like that. I think there are people who are going to use that horse for transportation and then maybe a healthy meal afterwards. And then there are people who are going to like really enjoy the idea of it, or the category of transportation or car or whatever it is. I have to imagine, John, during the robber baron phase of our country, when people owned railroads, there was some dude who tricked out his railroad car, something like that.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah, I can get behind that. I like your answer because I don't want enthusiast cars to go away, but I also feel like as autonomous cars take over, the self-driving aspect, people on their phones all the time. I think that a large part of the population, hopefully not everybody, but a large part of the population is going to be like, this is great. I don't have to do anything. I
That's
can
right.
just
I think
stay
that's
on my
better
phone.
for us. I can't wait till that happens.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's like most people, and there's no criticism against other people. People who don't enjoy driving, they're just trying to get somewhere. They don't need an enthusiast car, and they don't need to be traffic to me, because if there were autonomous cars and they were all on like a similar network, they would move at a constant pace. And I think we'd have less traffic. We could probably double, triple, quadruple the number of vehicles, and we'd have less traffic because everybody's moving at the same pace. And then, you and I and other enthusiasts, we're gonna be able to drive when we want, where we want, as fast as we want, or as slowly as you want, Captain Slowly. Just my thought.
I like it. I like it a lot.
You want to hear a question?
Question me up, man. Let's see.
Which car from the 90s is tragically underrated, and you may or may not die on a hill for that car?
Car from the 90s that's underrated.
Mm-hmm. But that you really love.
That I really love.
Yeah.
Tragically underrated. Okay. Wow. I don't think the Honda CRX ended production in 1991.
Okay.
Does that count?
I don't think that car's underrated, though.
For as good as it is.
Okay. I guess that's under.
For as good as it is, I understand that it's an enthusiast's car. I'll tell you what. I'll give you. I guess I'm going to give you more than one because I can't help myself. But
Sure.
A lot of the Volkswagen people don't like Mark III GTIs. They like the Mark IV, they like the Mark II, and the Mark I is, hallowed halls and stuff. But I think the Mark III is like kind of the sweet spot where it still feels like an old Golf, but it's modern enough where you can still drive it every day. It feels like a modern car. So I know that they're hated on, and I really, really like them. So maybe that's
okay.
What about you? What do you think? What's the most underrated 90s car?
I don't know if I'd even be able to answer this question, but I know that there's a 90s car that I think is somewhat, it was underrated at the time, and it just seemed probably impractical. And I hate RAV4s, but remember the RAV4 that had sort of like a convertible, like the back?
Yes. Yes. All right, so I have a distinct memory of a first-gen RAV4. First off, I owned a first-gen RAV4.
Okay.
Yeah, I took it from, as a matter of fact, I drove it from Massachusetts to Texas.
The top came off?
No, I had the four-door, I had like the regular SUV one, the four-door one. But I did have a first-gen RAV4, and it served me really, really well. But I have a memory of, I was on a ski trip somewhere, like in 1995, and some dude shows up, and he's got a three-door, it was the hardtop one, but with the dual sunroofs. Mm-hmm. And I remember I had to get something out of the car, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this is awesome, but weird. And then that was it. Like, and I, at the time, I hated SUVs. Anything raised up was terrible. Mm-hmm. But with a little bit of distance, like I would totally get one of those now. If I could find a nice, clean 3-door RAV4, they do all the things. They're very, very cool, and they're small and they're relatively efficient.
Yeah.
Sometimes as things progress, we go back to it seemed like a weird SUV on stilts, but now it seems so small and maneuverable and cool.
Right.
I like your answer.
You know what Walt Whitman said?
What did Walt Whitman say?
He said, "Do I contradict myself? Very well, then. I contain multitudes." Yeah. So I mean, we're it's okay that we have one thought 1 minute and another thought the next.
In a different minute.
Where else are you going to hear Walt Whitman quotes?
I thought you were going to go with Walter White, so this was great. What's the greatest car movie?
Whew. Oh my goodness, the greatest car movie. Greatest car movie. I haven't seen enough of them. But I would say, but a movie about cars, or a movie that has some really awesome car features in it.
I mean, I'm going to let you interpret the question however you want.
Okay, because Fast and Furious, that's not my answer, but Fast and Furious is a movie about cars, but then French Connection, for instance, is a movie with some rad driving scenes in it. But I probably might go with Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, I think I was going to say the same thing. There's so many good car movies out there, and in the 1970s, right, it was sort of a middle finger to the government. Like, car enthusiasts were really angry about 55 mile an hour and everything else. And so you get Smokey and the Bandit, you get Cannonball Run, you get the Gumball Rally, you get the Blues Brothers even, right? And French Connection. You have all of these movies where cars are featured predominantly. But when push comes to shove for me, Smokey and the Bandit, oh my God, I couldn't watch that enough when I was a kid. It probably was the reason my driving record looked the way it did when I was in my, early 20s. Which is to say, it was full of speeding tickets and bad stuff. But Smokey and the Bandit, yeah, I go with that.
Smokey and the Bandit, definitely.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to make this a two-part question, though. I'm going to break all the rules. Do you have a favorite racing movie, then?
So let's think about this for a second. It's not Days of Thunder. It's not the new Formula One movie. Oh, Rush, I thought was a really good movie. I mean, so there's that's about racing, but that's it's more about the human component. But an out and out racing movie, classics like Le Mans or Grand Prix, James Gardner, I think those are some good movies.
Yeah, I think Le Mans is a terrible movie as a movie. But I remember the first time I saw it, and I've remembered every subsequent time I've seen it. And since it was the heyday of Porsche and their development and the 917, like, it really doesn't matter that Steve McQueen was all strung out when he made it and couldn't sort of articulate thoughts, because it is a bad movie, but the footage is amazing. It just puts you into early 70s mode. So, I guess I would go with Le Mans.
Excellent. I'm going to ask you a question. I already know the answer to it, but I just want to know details about it.
Oh boy, okay.
Have you ever gotten emotionally attached to a car that you don't own?
Have I ever got you? Sure. Yes.
Well, we know the answer to that, but I want to know a story, an anecdote, like how it manifested itself.
I guess I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know which car you're thinking of.
Oh, many. I just know that.
I mean, yeah, I get attached to people's cars that they're not attached to. 100%. So we can go down the list. We can start with your TR6. I loved your TR6. I can remember every detail of that. The way it smelled, the roll bar, the way the carpet wasn't quite flat on the package shelf, and the blue vinyl. I know that the transmission, the bell housing has 13 bolts, and I remember how difficult it was to get the top one.
Yeah.
That car never belonged to me. It was your car. Why do I remember that as easily as what I had for breakfast? You know, flapjacks like everybody else. I remember details about your car that as if it was my own. And we have a mutual friend, Paul, who's got a 78 Z28. I can remember everything about that Z28, like including like the bath mat headliner. He had like this fuzzy black headliner, and the interior was sprayed black. And but you know, the early, or the 78 Z28 wheels that were on it. I remember all sorts of details, and that wasn't my car. When I was dating my wife, she had a Saab 9.3 3-door. I could document every little ding, dent, everything that was going on with that car. It wasn't my car, it was hers. But yeah, I mean, I can still remember the way it drives and the way it felt and the way it handled all of those things. Yeah, it doesn't have to be my car to be my car. I feel like we're all just caretakers anyway. Yeah.
That's nice. That's a beautiful moment.
Do you have any specific, is there somebody else's car that you had emotional attachment? I remember your brother's Cutlasses, the ones that had the black one with the wheels that the tires would rub, and so it had all marks in the back of the.
I'm amazed that like those tires didn't just explode at any given time.
They should have, because you never really did anything about it. They would just continue to cut into the fenders, or the fenders would cut into them.
I drove that a couple of times to high school. And I remember like one of the last times I drove it, it would not go into reverse, or would not go into drive. And then like somebody who was friends with my brother saw me struggling and came and said, "Oh, no, I know how to fix this." And I can't remember the procedure, but I think to get it to go forward, I think he had to push me backwards a little, and then it would the Turbomatic or whatever transmissions in that car began working again.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Here's a question that I didn't write down, but this leads me to the next thing. What was the weirdest? Have you ever had a car that had a weird quirk? Something like you just described about your brother's car. What was the weirdest thing that you had to say to somebody if they borrowed your car?
Yeah, a couple of things. These are minor
compared to having the transmission not work until somebody moved it for you.
Yeah, so with my A4, which was lowered, it was so low it would scrape over anything. And if anybody ever drove it, I'd have to explain to them that it was low. And nobody ever understood. I'm like, no, seriously, it's really, really low. And I don't know how many times other people drove it. But one thing, do you remember the Nissan pickup I used to have?
Yeah, sure.
Remember where the parking brake was?
I know where the parking brakes on those trucks are. Yeah.
I'd always have to explain it because the pickup truck, when you have a truck, people will ask to borrow it because they need to go somewhere or do something. And so I would loan that truck to people, and nobody could ever figure out where the parking brake was, which was directly under the steering column, and it was a lever that you pulled out. I mean, a lot of
kind of like an umbrella. You would have to move it, do one of these, and then do this again to let it. Yeah, it was a weird design.
Oh, wait a second. Another slightly weird thing was the A4 had a reverse lockout, and you had to push it down, like in. It had then back, and like valets could never figure that out. And
I had a Passat, a 2012 Passat manual, base model, 5-cylinder. It was a great car, and we were going to a wedding, and we pull up to the hotel, and none of the valets, they were like, "Sir, you're going to have to park your own car." I'm like, "Why?" "Well, none of us know how to drive this car." And there were like 6 guys. I'm like, "None of you? Like, really?" But yeah, manuals in general are you're like from another planet now. It's a really weird thing.
You didn't say to them. You just put it in H, and
you're fine. Just go with it. You talked about your pickup truck. There was a hole in the bed of your pickup truck.
There was. It started as I guess a dent, but there was a hole. There was a hole in the actual bed, but in the cab directly behind it, there was just a perforation. Do you remember how that happened? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
So, like I said before, people want to borrow your truck when you have a truck. And my brother, who we've mentioned with his stable of shitty cars, had to take, maybe it was the transmission from the Cutlass.
Look at how it's all coming together.
He had to take, he's like, oh, I got to bring something somewhere. Can I borrow your truck? I'm like, yeah. And so he puts this transmission in the back. I'm like, dude, you better tie that down. So it's not going anywhere. And I'm like, no, seriously, tie it down. He's like, it's not going to go anywhere. And we lived on a hill, and there was a stop sign at the bottom of the hill. And so he drives away, and I'm not going with him because I'm doing something else. And he drives away. He gets to the bottom of the hill, and I hear, boom. And it was the transmission sliding forward, and the input shaft hits the front of the bed, punches a hole through that into the cab, but only dented the cab. And so that was there until the day that I got rid of that car. And I think about that occasionally. Whenever I need to decide whether if I can trust some people, I'm like, no.
How's that for an input shaft?
Yeah.
Into the cab.
That's pretty good, Johnny.
Hey, I'm here all week, folks.
Yeah.
Folks, where'd you go? All right. You got a question for me?
I do. What's a car trend that you wish would disappear forever?
What's a car that I wish would disappear?
A trend.
Oh, car trend. I wish people would figure out that technology isn't always better. So I guess what I wish, God, there's no way I can not make this sound bad. I wish everybody would put their phones down, their screens down, and just enjoy being in the moment. And cars are probably front and center. I wish people would do that in all aspects of their life. It makes me sound like a Luddite. It makes me sound like a guy that is ready to shave his mustache and become Amish. But cars are not enjoyable when the most important thing is if it's compatible with my phone. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I feel like 99% of the population is like, well, does it have CarPlay? Who cares if it has CarPlay? It doesn't matter. That doesn't make it better. Put your phone down and drive the car, and you might find something that you really enjoy. And now, instead of just going somewhere to have fun, you're having fun while you're going somewhere. You can put that on a t-shirt, friend.
The views of this madman are not the views of the Bidfinite Nut Corporation. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I get it. I think one of the things that I say when I'm in the car is I think it and I say it out loud is that this person doesn't realize that they're driving. That's what I think. I think a lot of people don't realize that they're driving. They're actually somewhere else. Like mentally, they're somewhere else, and they forget that they're behind the wheel of a car. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. What's your question?
My question to you, not have you ever been in a Turkish prison? Although I did write that down. How do you think that the collector car market will change? And what cars in the next decade do you see becoming collectible?
Yeah. Okay. So some things that are going to change. I think Porsches are still going to be crazy expensive, and on the secondary market, like we did a show last week about that. I think prices are coming down on regular cars. I think people are becoming more choosy about what they spend money on. I think it's going to be a rarefication where people might buy a more expensive car, but it's a better car. It's sort of like there was a trend when people said, well, I'm going to drink less, but just have better quality whiskey, or people I'm going to eat less red meat, but I'm going to have, when I eat a steak, it's going to be a great steak. I think that's going to happen. Your second part of your question is what cars are going to be collectible. I think there's a cutoff point where cars, I don't know if it's 2015, 14, somewhere like 10 years ago. I think where cars aren't as much fun. And it goes back to what you said about technology. There's just a lot of driver assist, and I'm not an anti driver assist person. Like, I think stability control and those things are great for people like me who love driving, but I'm not Lewis Hamilton. I'm not even John Marcus. But I think there's a cutoff point. I don't know if people are gonna be like, yeah, that 2020 Ford Bronco is the one to have, unless you got like a two-door with a manual, for instance, which was 2% of their production. And the reason I know that is like because I put down a deposit on a two-door manual Badlands edition, and I never got it because they just kept delaying the production of it, and I never got it. But they explained to me over and over again that there are so few that they're making that it's going to take a while, and eventually that dream died. I don't think people are going to say, oh yeah, the new 4Runner is the thing. I don't know, because we've got cooler versions of the 4Runner, not the 4th generation, because that one's awful. But I don't know. I think when were FJs? When did they stop making those? Around that time?
2014.
14, yeah. So I think there's a cutoff point. So obviously, cool stuff is still like the exotic stuff is always going to be collectible. But like us looking back and saying like a Celica is a great car, or a Datsun 510. I don't know if there's a new version of that.
I guess the question becomes, if collector cars, and we've talked about this in the past, if we're talking about nostalgia, right? I love the things that I remember from childhood, and even the things that did not occur in childhood, but I wanted them to. If there's a generation of kids that are being ferried around in Toyota SUVs, will they ever be wistful for those experiences? And so will there be a point where somebody's like, man, a first gen Highlander, God, that brings me back to childhood?
You know what? Maybe they'll be wistful for the experience. I don't know if they're going to be wistful enough to make that purchase and park it in their driveway.
I don't disagree. I think that I don't think there's enough there to make you want to relive that experience every day in the way that like a W123 Mercedes, which it has a lot of character and personality. It also reminds me of my childhood, but it's got a lot of character beyond that. So you could see owning it and taking care of it and maintaining it. I don't know if you're going to feel that way about a Honda Pilot.
Yeah. I know you had a first generation Highlander, right? You did?
I still do, yeah.
I hate those. They're just like, it's like something that was watered down, and then they said, let's water this down more. I don't know. It just looks so bland. It's like, this should be like, they should be handed out at Quantico to undercover FBI agents, because no one's ever going to spot you. I just think
It's true. All of that is true. 1,000% all of that is true. It's also such a reliable appliance that it becomes endearing because it just works. It just works. And you don't really think about it until you buy a car that doesn't work. And then you start thinking, you know what? That Highlander that I totally ignored because it's as boring as milk toast or milk steak. It's so reliable. It never gave me a moment's trouble. I don't think it's going to become collectible, but I like the idea that what is the next nostalgia going to be? The next generation, what is their nostalgia going to be?
I think it's going to be something without technology.
Hold, please.
Johnny works at Kinko's, so.
I don't know why somebody is. Really? Again?
No, it's okay. It's a teletype. It's coming in. You got a message coming in from somewhere. It's okay.
I shut it off, but it kept going on.
No, why did you shut it off? Somebody needs that.
Somebody's gonna have to wait because they know where I am.
Okay.
They know.
Let me ask you a question before you freak out. But speaking of freaking out, if you could punch one automotive influencer in the face lightly, who would it be?
Oh, who would I punch in the face lightly?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I want to punch Doug.
Okay.
The mirror. Lightly. I don't want to hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, like, come on, Doug. Easy.
Yeah.
How about you?
The guy on the Bring a Trailer podcast, glasses, mustache, I don't know his name.
Okay. You don't need to know his name to punch him in the face lightly.
No. But he just his pronunciation of things, it's sometimes I listened to one episode and he was talking with somebody at the Peterson Auto Museum, I think, and I could be completely wrong, but he pronounced Countach as Kuntak because, well, in Italian you might pronounce it that way if there were vowels after it,
Right.
but it was just anyway. So that's I don't know if I'd punch him in the face. I think I might just slap him in the back of the head.
Maybe just like get it together, like one of those.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to hurt Doug. I like Doug. No. We don't know each other, but if we did. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, do you have any other questions?
I have lots of questions.
Oh, okay. Ask me a question.
Would you rather daily drive a Nissan Leaf or a Hummer H2 with no in between for the rest of your life?
Nissan Leaf all day long. I hate Hummer H2s. I hate them. They're so bad.
They are.
Not even.
I actually like the Nissan Leaf. I like the way it looks.
I would drive a Leaf as like a daily. The 100-mile range gets burned up very quickly. Mm-hmm. Like that would freak me out.
And approximately 100 miles. Yeah, approximately 100 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have range anxiety all the time. Oh, we've got 99 miles left. That's gonna go fast.
Yeah. Well, let's think about this for a second. So if you had the Chevy Bolt, the Nissan Leaf, and the BMW, what is that? Like the i3?
I think it's an i3.
If you had to choose one of those, which would it be?
I like the BMW.
Same.
You'll never hear me say that in another comparison, though. I'm not a BMW guy at all. But I find that that's an interesting car on its own. Mm-hmm. And I would consider owning one if the price was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those little EVs are great if you are around town. The driving that I do tends to be a little further than, I'm leaving my town and going 2 or 3 towns over, and so 50.
You're driving to the Schuylkill with your skull on board.
I've got a row, baby. I mean, it's in my blood now. Mm-hmm. Apparently, that or the Schuylkill River water. I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Would you prefer?
Mm-hmm.
To drive a slow car fast or a fast car slow?
Slow car fast.
Same. So how come we don't drive slow cars?
We do.
I mean,
the Juliet is a slow car. Your Cabrio is a slow car.
Yeah, that's true. But the collective we, the larger enthusiasts, because I think a lot of people answered the question the way we just did. Yeah, it's more fun to drive a slow car fast. But the value in cars is like, man, can you believe how fast this went around Nürburgring?
Yeah, I think there's also ego attached to it. So I think you and I agree that Miata is generally always the answer.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people wouldn't want to be seen in a Miata because they don't think it's a boy's car. And I think it's so sad because I think a Miata is one of the most fun. I've never owned a Miata. I've liked yours, and I've liked other people's. But I think people just feel like, oh no, I don't want to. That's not a car for me. I need a practical car, so they'd get a Corvette.
Yeah, I think you're right. but maybe my favorite out of the 60 plus cars that I've had, the Miata is definitely in the top 3, if not my favorite. And they're just phenomenal cars. And the other part of that was, or what I was going to say is, I was definitely early on that curve where enthusiasts really hadn't embraced the Miata when I had the first one that I had. It was, I don't know, mid to late 90s. And I took a lot of grief for driving that car, but man, it was so pure and so amazing, and still is. All right.
Well, I think we're at the top of the hour here. All right, John, it's been a great show. I invite everybody out there to speed safely in your slow cars. Have fun. Talk to you next.
We'll see you next week.